We are live. We are ready.
We are currently live on Twitch. If you are not on the Twitch channel, please go over there, support the Twitch. You know, we need to get them views up. You can just, if you're already in here, obviously you'd be hearing me twice, which is more of a blessing than a curse, I know. But you can feel free to mute the tab if you get on the Twitch. What the fuck is the Twitch URL? If you don't know the Twitch URL for VStars, something's wrong, okay?
I can send it in our channel here.
It's already been sent.
I will not send it in the channel
Short
here.
Stack. All right, well, we're live. Welcome. Like I said before we went live, this is just a straight up real cash AMA. We're just going to be answering any questions that you may have about VStars, about us, about VTubing in general. Like any question you want to ask, if we can answer it, we'll do our best. Okay. Yeah. No, we don't have an affiliate yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're basically at the requirements for it.
We are at all requirements except the just number of hours.
Yeah.
So soon.
We'll keep those viewer numbers up. We could get partner. That'd be cool, huh?
While we get started, how about we answer a few from the Curious Cat and knock those out?
Let's do that.
Would you like me to read them out loud?
Go ahead.
Okay. From Anonymous. Is there a certain size of content creator I have to be beforehand, or maintain if I am to be accepted into the group at any generation debut?
No, there is not. The main thing, I mean, this might be asked later by a different question, but the main thing we're looking at is not your follower numbers. Like, obviously, we're going to look at it, and it's going to play a little bit of a part, but we're not going to disqualify somebody because they have 50 followers. What we're really looking at is how you perform on stream. You know, we want to see somebody who is engaging. We want to see somebody who is passionate about what they're doing. We want to see somebody who is enjoying the action of streaming. You know what I mean? So don't worry about your follower counts. There's nothing that you have to maintain. We're not going for big people only or anything like that. We just want to see that you like what you do and you have that passion. You know what I mean? That's why we ask for VODs.
Cool.
Next one.
Next question. As someone who has never made a debut video or understands how one truly works, if I am to be accepted, do I have to make one and re-debut?
No. Yeah, short answer, no. Long answer is we will be advising our talent on how to, do better, right? That's kind of the whole deal here, is how we can help you improve. So if you didn't have a debut video, we might suggest that you get one. But if you can't afford one or don't know how the process works, if you don't know how the process works, but you can't afford one, and you're willing to spend the money, then we can guide you and help you get the resources to do that, right? We have connections with many video editors at this point, so we can help you, direct you on the right path, of course. But all that is to say, I don't think that a debut video is the end all be all of a VTuber. Like, I don't think you need one to be successful. Sure, it'll help, and the engagement on a debut video is really good. But again, if it's not in your budget, then there's no way around it. You just can't do it. All right, next.
All right. Well, we've got, let's see. Looks like we have someone with their hand up. So we have Ash. Would we like to bring Ash on stage for the question, and then we can...
All right, Ash, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Jeez. I wish I didn't stutter there. That would have been a lot cooler.
Disappointed in you.
A little bit, yeah.
Hello,
I
Ash.
was like,
welcome.
what the fuck kind of fuckery is this? Yeah, that was a lot of fuck words. For people who don't use mic and use chat instead on streams, how would that play out in terms of who you look for? Because I personally don't use a lot of microphone because I live in a noisy dorm and everyone's fucking loud.
That's completely fine. As long as you find a way to work with it and you can remain engaging with your chat. Obviously, you're directly in the chat, so I mean, I would assume there'd be good engagement there. But yeah, I mean, if you're making content, the way you deliver that content is up to you. You know, we're not out here to change people's content styles or anything like that. So if that's something that is a necessity to you, obviously that's fine.
All right, that was all I had. Also, asking for a friend. What's 2 + 5?
12.
Thanks.
All right, I think the way we should do this is we should alternate
Yeah, we can do that.
between the two. Vera, did you need to go, by the way? I don't want to hold you here if you are occupied.
I am okay.
Lovely. Okay, cool. If you're here, we're officially in the questions phase, so feel free to raise your hand if you have a question now. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be alternating between the people who are in here who have raised their hand and the questions of the curious cat until the curious cat curious cat questions are completed. What the fuck, tongue twister.
Cool. Then in that case, the next Curious Cat question is, how are sponsorships going to work?
Now, do you mean like how are we going to get sponsored? Like VStars? I mean, I'm asking this to a person who asked this question
I would
2
love
days
to
ago.
ask Anonymous 3 days ago, but
But I'm going to assume that they meant how are we going to get sponsored? The answer to that question is we're going to be reaching out to sponsors and seeing if they want us. Chris, do you want to talk about your process with that? Because you're basically the leader on that.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, the process right now is actively reaching out to sponsors on the appeal of our community and making that the forefront of what we discuss with our sponsors, saying, you know, we're going to involve you in our events, etc. However, when we do switch over to like a split platform between events that are community focused as well as our talent, our sponsorship approach is going to be a little bit different. But for the moment, it is just actively reaching out with like outreach letters, the deck that we have on hand for us personally. But when we do bring our talents on board, I plan to sit down with each of them and orchestrate for them how they want to be perceived to their sponsors, what sponsors they would be interested in working with, and basically just developing their like media outreach portfolio so we know where to work from there.
Cool. Thank you very much.
For sure.
All right. Next question is Pink Bunny.
Hi guys, thank you so much. Okay, I do have a question. Thank you. So I did forgot to ask the last time we met. How are you guys? First of all, how are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad.
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. Okay, so one question is, there are some streamers like myself personally who don't have a gaming PC, who have been streaming on like a laptop or like a desktop, you know, just a regular desktop. So how are you gonna help guide somebody who's making that transition? You know, if they get into VStars and then they say, "Oh, I don't stream like a gaming PC," like how are you gonna help them to ensure that if they want to transition to a gaming PC, like how are you gonna do that?
Is the question that they have a computer that can't handle streaming and how we can help them through that? Because currently we're not offering any sort of funding or supplying anybody with computers, so we can't really do too much about that, unfortunately. And the application requires that you are currently streaming in order to apply. If your computer's not good enough to stream, unfortunately, your application can't really be taken. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that was the question that you were specifically asking there.
No, like what if you are already streaming? Like you already are streaming on Twitch already. Like for example, you know, the PC that they're streaming on, you know, it's just that it's not that good for streaming, but they still are streaming anyway.
I mean, if they're already streaming, then I assume that they are playing games or doing things in such a way that they can circumvent that issue. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're not able to fund anybody's computer right now, so what they have is what they got, you know.
Although I think we could probably still offer like advice on upgrades or what you might want to look for a PC build. We could do that sort of thing, but yeah, no financial assistance, unfortunately.
Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to ask that question because, in case if somebody were to apply for VStars and then they were gonna be, they apply, but they are streaming, but the PC that they have isn't the best quality for streaming. So I just wanted to ask that question in case it does come up. Thank you so much. Good luck to everyone.
Would you like another question from Curious Cat next?
Back to Curious Cat, and then after that we'll take Ari, because Ari can't raise her hand.
All right. So let's see. Anonymous asks, is there a certain level of personality that has to be maintained, such as how VShojo has their personality types and how HoloLive has theirs?
I would say no. Personally, I mean, that's up to you, really. Like we said, we're not moderating or trying to change your content style whatsoever. But I would say that having a very strong personality is a big part of being a streamer. I'm not trying to say anything, but I think people would much rather watch somebody who has a very particular stage presence than somebody who doesn't. But in terms of types, I wouldn't say that you need to stick to one archetype or anything like that. You don't have to really select one and hone in on it. It's up to you what you want your streaming persona to be like. Again, we're not trying to change or alter your content style whatsoever.
Cool. All right. Then let's bring Ari up for the next question.
Hello, Ari.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, and I'm sure a lot of people would be wondering with this first generation and a lot of future generations, are you going for a specific theme, or are you going to try to make a theme out of what you select? Like how HoloLive does their HoloLive Council, HoloLive Myth, etc., etc.
From my understanding, we're not doing that with Gen 1. We might, I don't know, we were kind of in talks to shape things a little bit for Gen 1, but in terms of selection, we're not sticking to any one theme, because obviously that would be ridiculous to open applications, not specify the theme that we're looking for, and then retroactively say, hey, we're only looking for people with models with clothes that are blue, red, and green. You know what I mean? It'd be ridiculous to do that after we've had applications open for this long. So yeah, Gen 1's not going to have any specific theme. We might come up with a sort of kind of like Holo Council or something like that, where they have a name for the whole generation rather than just Generation 1. But moving forward from there, that's when we hit company status is when Gen 2 is happening. And then we're making the models from scratch, and therefore we can be a little bit more specific with what the models look like and that sort of theming. Cool. Is that?
Yeah, that answered my question. Thank you very much. I will now go back to
Beyond.
Get out of here.
All right. So the next question from Curious Cat is, when is it estimated for the group to go over to company status, and are there milestones to hit?
Did you skip 5 questions just now?
I skipped a couple. I'm skipping around a little bit just to make sure we get some questions in, since we are now getting several in the Curious Cat, and I want to make sure we get plenty in the time frame.
I see. I understand.
Naruhodo.
What was the question? Yes.
The question is about becoming a company.
The estimation. Komukura, do you want to field this one, or you want me to?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're doing just fine.
What? Okay. Thanks, buddy. I like the praise.
All on you, pal.
So in terms of company status, we're not being too specific about that. We have a general roadmap of where we're going. We don't have an actual estimation of when we will become a company at this point. There are a lot of factors at play here, most especially funding. But we are, we're steadily making our pace over to become a company. But you just have to be patient with us. Obviously, we're updating you every stage of the way. So you will know as soon as we know, I guess. Does anybody have anything to add to that?
I think, it takes a lot to get from a group that's completely volunteer run to one that's a little bit more monetized and larger. So that'll take a lot of time and a lot of hard work on the back end. So we'll keep working toward it. Probably not anytime like in the very close future, though.
I think the main thing here is that the community doesn't see what goes on behind the scenes. So, I mean, we just started, in June? It's going to be a while until we, work behind the curtains before we feel comfortable enough to, pull the curtains out and put on a show for everybody. We want to make sure it's good and spectacular when we do that.
Cool. So shall we bring up the next person from the audience?
The next contestant.
Looks like we
Bring
got
him up.
Mutagen.
Get on up. Mutagen.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
we can.
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering what the turnaround was for getting the application results back. Like when we send in our application, like after the deadline.
So we're looking to have about a 2-week buffer after the applications close. Obviously, we have received quite a lot of applications, so there's no way we're going to be able to respond to everyone who applied that is getting denied, but there will be an announcement with who got accepted. So if your name's not on the list, then obviously, you haven't made it, unfortunately. But yeah, so like I said, about 2 weeks turnaround time for us to go through everything and consider everything. And then we will make the announcement both on Twitter and on Discord. That's the current plan.
All right, thank you so much, and good luck, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Cool. So for the next Curious Cat question, I'm actually going to combine two that are in here. One is, can someone who has only been in others' streams apply? So they haven't had their own streams at all yet. And two, are you going to be considering any potential raw talents like pre-debut or not yet streaming? Or are we exclusively looking for experience?
I mean, I think the one qualifier, the one thing we're looking for is your ability to stream right out the gate, right? If you are pre-debut and you're unable to stream now, but you're able to stream 2 weeks after the app's close, then great. If you're not, then unfortunately you can't be considered, right? Like we said in the application, it's just how it works. Like, we need you to be able to hit the ground running, get streaming immediately. We can't, in good faith, accept 8 people and have, only 2 of them making content. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense, unfortunately.
Cool. All right, so that answers that one. I think the next person in line was Parker.
Get on up here, Parker.
Parker, you have been invited.
Sorry, I was letting my dog back into my bedroom. Hi.
Hello. Parker Ryland.
Hello.
Hello, Yo Roku of VStars. That's who said my name, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm half asleep.
That is correct, yes.
Yes, the JoJo man. Okay. So my question revolves around collaborations. How will you allow talents to collab with not just VTubers outside of the company, but also just like non-VTubers as well and things like that?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. That's all I had. Okay, I'm gonna go slink back into the never-ending void.
Sounds good.
That was
All
a quick and easy question.
Yep.
Sounds lovely.
All right. So the next question we have here is whether we would consider smaller streamers And I'm also going to throw in another one since that's a quick answer. Would an application be considered if they are currently on hiatus from content creation?
Basically both of those have been answered already, right? So that was like the first question I answered, where I said like we're not really looking at your follower count, we're more looking at the passion for streaming, your content style, all that good stuff. So if you're a smaller content creator, you still have the same chance as somebody who's bigger than you. We're not really putting that too much into consideration. And then the other half of that question, what was it again?
About if they're currently on hiatus from content creation, but plan to pick back up after applications.
Right. As long as you have something to show us, that would be ideal. Obviously, like we said, and I'm going to be frank, there's 900 applicants at this point. If you have nothing to show us in terms of a VOD or any sort of content that you've created, we can't really, in good faith, consider you if we have nothing to go off of, right? So if you can show us something, then we would be able to consider you. And then in conjunction with that, if you are able to begin creating content after the selection period, then everything is okay. It is contingent on those two things. As long as we have something to look at, and then if you get accepted, if you can start creating that content immediately, then you're good.
Brilliant. All right, next we have up a pigeon with a knife.
Oh
no.
Oh no.
Put the knife
I gotta
down.
go. I think I owe them money. I think that's why they're here.
Beware the pigeon.
Oh no.
Pigeon with a knife, you have been summoned to come up on stage.
And if you're the pigeon I owe money, I'm very sorry. I'm working on it.
Well, let's see. While we wait for Pigeon to accept, we can go through another Curious Cat question. From Putty's.
I have to accept it!
Oh, there we go.
I've never done this before. I didn't know how it worked. Anyways, I had to write it down on a sticky note so I'd actually remember. Specifically, I asked, how would VStars handle like a member of their group, basically like making any sort of problematic comments, just being bigoted or racist? Because I know that you said you didn't want to moderate people's content, but also I understand. I expect the group to be protecting their marginalized creators, and I just wanted to know how y'all would handle that.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. When I say we're not going to be, changing their content, I mean like if they fucking want to stream a Tokyo tour versus like fucking, you know what I mean? If they're being racist, they're gone.
Okay.
The basic expectation is that they're following the rules of the Discord. If they can't follow the rules of the Discord, we can't, in good faith, keep them in our community. You know what I mean?
Swag. That's all I needed to know. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you,
How I
Pigeon.
leave. Okay, there we go. Bye-bye.
Alright.
To answer the question that I have just been tagged in from Pink Bunny, the answer is yes.
That is a mystery question. Could you read it out loud?
Sorry. For those who got rejected from VStars Gen 1, can they apply for Gen 2 again or for future applications? The answer is yes.
Cool. All right. So then the next question from Curious Cat is, what has it been like being the owner of a professional VTuber agency?
It sucks, bro. No, I'm kidding. That's cool. It's fun. I'm having fun. Como, you want to talk about it a little bit? You having fun, bro?
Am I having fun? No, it sucked.
I already said that. You took my answer.
Oh, different answer. Shit.
Like Family Feud.
Yeah. No. I mean, as somebody who doesn't stream or is not a VTuber, and I have no aspiration to be, it's just really nice to see everybody achieving their dreams. Like, I don't know. I fully believe in if you don't make it to Gen 1, I still want to be around to support you guys. Like I was saying in general chat earlier, like the hashtag VStars on Twitter isn't really for us. I legitimately go through that like on the daily. I try to comment or like or something to hopefully get your post on our timeline. If I retweeted everybody, that would, just be a spam account. But it's really nice to see all of you supporting us and supporting the stream that we have. So it's honestly amazing, and I can't wait to see where it goes, because I'm positive it's going to go very, very far.
Yeah, I can say I'm really happy about the community aspect. I think that's been the most enjoyable part, is just being able to help create such a cool community of neat people.
Yeah, whether you're doing it as a career or just as a hobby, it's just amazing to see everybody get together and share their knowledge and support one another. I mean, this has been the most wholesome community I've been a part of in a very long time.
Chris, did you
Nah,
want
but
to
it,
say anything?
it sucks though. So kind of
It
crazy.
does suck.
Sucks being an owner. No, it's lovely. I am a VTuber myself, and part of the reason why we created this in the first place is like we wanted to create a community that, you know, I myself would be happy to be a part of. You know, that's always the goal, is to create something that you, even if you weren't in charge of it, that you would want to join regardless. And I think we've done that. I'm very pleased with where we are and the way that we're going. And yeah, I'm very proud of this community, and I'm proud of you guys. I've always said that from the beginning when we had 50 people in here, and now that we have almost 2,000 in here, I still feel the same way.
And that said too, this is not a finished product by any means. I mean, it's with the help of all of you that this community gets even better. You know, that's why we have the suggestions and everything, and these AMAs and everything. We constantly try to engage in our audience and see how we can improve ourselves to be better for you guys.
Sweet. All right. So next up we have Jawaffle.
Welcome.
Hi. Well, first off, I just want to say that I'm a little bit nervous up here too. So bear with me. Is there a cap with the questions first off?
Like, you want to ask multiple questions while you're up here? Is that what you're saying?
I have two, yes.
No, it's fine. Go ahead and ask both.
Okay. Well, my first question is, will there be like managers for like specific gens? For like example, like how HoloLive has managers for the EU and like English VTubers and the Japanese VTubers. Does that make any sense?
Our structure is a little bit different. Basically, what we're going for here is we have an agent for each of our Gen 1 members,
wow.
instead of like an overarching manager for the whole generation. That's basically the format we're going for here.
Ah, okay. And how will that actually work though for like the agent? How will they manage things? Like, will they manage like Twitters or schedules or something like that?
The very base expectation for our agents is that they will be in the talent streams, clipping interesting things and bringing that to our marketing team, to, you know, market. But beyond, go ahead.
Yeah, so, and the agent is yours to use too. So with that said, we've had questions about what if I don't want an agent, or what if I have Twitch mods and everything and they've been doing a great job. That's fine. You can totally say, I don't want your agent, like I appreciate it, but I don't need it. That's totally fine. If you want them to be your Twitch mod, if it really relies on you, on how much you want them to be involved.
Okay. And the last question that I have is there a set date for like when the announcement for the first gen to be? Because I've heard rumors around that it's like near like September or something. I don't know if because there's no announcement about that or something like that if I haven't seen it, but I don't know for sure.
There is no announcement because we're not trying to be beholden to a specific date, but the goal is about 2 weeks after apps close is when the announcement will go out.
Okay.
We're just trying to give ourselves some leeway in order to really give everybody a fair shot in looking at all the applications.
Okay. Well, now it came to mind another question. How many people are actually going to be in for each gen, or like the first gen? Is there like a specific amount?
8.
8. Ah, okay. That's all I have for questions right now.
Cool.
Vera,
And
did you want to say something real quick?
yeah, on
Go
the
ahead.
note of announcing the talent for Gen 1, I think we were also planning an approach of, like teasers, like reveals, that kind of thing that would lead up to something a little bit bigger for like a full group debut. So keep in mind that may take some time as well.
Okay. All right. That's all I have for now.
Cool. Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
Thank you very much. For this next question, Chris, there was a couple of questions that you pinned. Do you wanna
Yes.
handle those?
I'm kind of try to lump these into one question, but each of them separately is, oh yeah, if someone messaged you on like Twitter or Discord about VStars related drama, what would you want us to do? And the second half of that question is, what if a VTuber from VStars gets harassed or doxxed? Now, when it comes to sensitive things like being messaged about, the internal workings or drama or anything, accusations, whatever you want to call it, my personal best way of approach would be to not engage. Forward it to us, let us handle it for you. We don't want you guys to have to deal with anything like that as much as possible. Let us handle it. Just send us everything you have, obviously. And then if a member is to get harassed or doxxed, we will do everything within our power to help, as well as help locate resources for them to stay safe.
Yeah, and with that, if you need to get in touch with one of us, we do have the support ticket channel. There is one in there for chief of staff and up, so that's an executive ticket. It will go to the team leads and ups, that way we can help you directly. Or if for some reason you're not comfortable with one of the ticket options, you can also message one of us personally.
And that's one of the things that agents are there to help with. We understand that that might be a difficult situation that arises. We see how even in big name celebrities all the time there's gossip rags, so it's not something we're not expecting to happen, but it is something that we are doing our best to be prepared for.
Yeah, it's a very tricky situation, but as long as you go through the proper channels, we will make sure to handle it as professionally as possible.
Shall we jump back to one of the folks in the audience here, instead of Curious Cat, just so we can make sure we get through people?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so next we have Aaron Animates.
You have been invited to the stage, Aaron. Please report to the stage. Post haste.
In the meanwhile,
there we go.
Welcome.
It took a second to pop up. Hello.
Hello.
So, obviously, I think that everyone should, do better the next time they create content. If we have already applied, but we think, we had a better stream or we found a better clip, should we update our applications?
Yes.
Or are you're okay, you're not already like going through them and kicking people out?
We're not kicking anybody out, no.
Okay.
But this question has been asked many a time.
Really?
And in front of 48 people and 32 in the Twitch audience, I will say this, so hopefully we get the question a little bit less. You can go back and edit your app at any time. Just go back to the application link, and at the top where the description is, there should be a little button that says edit your application, and then you can edit your application there.
Okay, cool.
And to note, we did accidentally not have that feature turned on for the first probably couple hundred, honestly, of applications, due to an error on our part. So if you are having trouble finding that link because you were one of the first few applications in, feel free to open up a ticket and I will do my best to help you find that link.
Cool. Thank you.
True.
All right.
Okay.
So the next Curious Cat question is, what happens if a VTuber is accepted into VStars, but also applied to VShojo?
Take VShojo. I know that sounds stupid for me to be saying that, but they're gonna give you money. We're not a full out company yet. Realistically, if you are selected for the group and you get a big offer like that, I mean, we're not gonna tie you down. You're not signing a contract. We're not gonna try to keep you if you don't want to be part of the group anymore. We'll understand. Just please let us know. You know what I mean? Like, don't just ghost us. I would hope that nobody would do that if they got selected for talent. But yeah, if you get a better opportunity, we understand. Again, you're not signing a contract to be part of this group. So I get it. Anything else on that?
Nope, that was that one question. Should we have Pastel Gremlin come to the stage next?
Go ahead. Bring them up.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
As an artist, I was wondering if, because I do a lot of my own assets for streaming and everything, would that be alright to use instead of like whatever if you guys were to like give us some assets to use for our streams instead?
We're not. We're not giving any assets. You can use whatever you want for your stream.
Okay. And then another one was that I know some people don't have their models up and ready, or some people are making their own models. Would it be alright if we were a PNG VTuber for a while and then get our models later?
Yep. You don't even have to get one. If you don't want a live 2D model, you don't ever have to get one. If you want to be a PNG tuber forever, that's fine. 3D, 2D, whatever.
Alright, thank you.
As long as you are a virtual streamer, you are A-OK.
I think that's all the questions I have so far.
All right. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have a question from Amelia on Curious Cat that says, you all have had some amazing growth in the last month, in large thanks to your amazing staff and marketing efforts. Now that we're only a few days away from the talent apps closing, have you been thinking about how best to use your growth in order to benefit your new talent? And if so, how would you do so?
Chris, you want to field that one?
Sure. So yes, I look at our analytics on the weekly, basically, and I have seen our growth. Without going too much into detail about the actual numbers of such, we have an excellent footing to help our talents as soon as they debut with the engagement power that we do have at our fingertips right now. When it comes to how we plan to use that in the future, we are actually putting that into work as we speak in the background. Excuse me. But that kind of impact that we're having and the engagement that we have thanks to everyone here is going to allow us to reach out and obtain investors, sponsorships, things in that field that's going to make the transition into a company a lot easier and a lot smoother for us. And in the end, it's going to circle around and benefit everybody in the community. So that is something we owe in a large part to you guys by giving us those numbers and that engagement. It's going to take that exponential growth and really solidify us as a force in the field. So thank you guys.
It's a really good question. All right, so next up we have Tonari no Fumi.
They have chickens.
Yes.
I'm easily entertained. Okay. Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, hi. I am Fumi Akira, the farming VTuber. I do have two questions, one of which is extremely dry, because I'm an accountant. Other than a farmer. So the first question is that, have you incorporated yet? And if so, is that a full incorporation or an LLC?
Do you want me to take that since I've been doing a little research?
Yeah, you can go ahead and take that. I mean,
for now, we've been looking into LLC options. However, we haven't quite gotten to the point where we're really ready to start making the jump into a monetized, financially secure company. So while we're still, just purely volunteer led, not really, making any money from what we are doing, we are not yet incorporated in any way.
Okay. So now my 2 questions have become 3 questions. I apologize.
No worries.
So question 2 is that in terms of your Generation 1 talent, and I have actually put through my application. But anyway, in terms of Generation 1 talent, how are they? What is your plan for them to shape? Or because I know that you've mentioned that Gen 1 is not automatically going to be invited to join Gen 2, but what's your plan for Gen 1 shaping Gen 2, and what's the monetary structure that Gen 1 should be expected to contribute? Because I mean, in order to make money, you have to make money. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes sense. Rohu, do you want to take this, or do you want me to continue answering this one?
From my understanding of the question, you're asking if Gen 1 is going to supply any money? Was that what was happening?
Yeah, like is Gen 1 expected, because like you're supplying a service to Gen 1, correct? In the form of having an agent for every
Yes.
Gen
No,
1
we're
VTuber.
not expecting to take any money from Gen 1 whatsoever. That's
There's
part of the application.
there's no profit split or anything to that effect.
Nope. We're not taking money off the top from our Gen 1 talent. That's what happens when we hit Gen 2, but as of Gen 1, nobody's signing any contracts, no money is changing hands. Realistically, if we're getting into the nitty-gritty, the only thing that we're really thinking about for Gen 1 is merchandising, and that's going to be a tricky process because obviously we're going to have to reach out to all of the artists involved and make sure that they are okay with merchandising. Any sort of t-shirts or mouse pads or anything like that. But yeah, that's the only way we're thinking of making money off of Gen 1.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's just like sponsors and stuff.
And Chris might be able to chime in on this as well, but I think considering that we are just doing this all volunteer-led for Gen 1, what we'd be looking at in terms of any sort of profit would be purely donation-led. So anything that we receive in terms of donations, like from the coffee account, or anything that we receive in terms of Minecraft support or merchandise sold, that would then turn back into what we use for either Generation 1 or future Generation 2 assets, materials, etc.
Okay. I might talk to Chris about this at some point, because like I have a lot of very dry questions, which I'm sure nobody else wants to listen to. But how will Gen 1 shape Gen 2? Like what will... I mean, I know that you're looking for talent for Gen 1, but like, is Gen 1 expected to provide some sort of direction, because Gen 1 does build your community?
One is going to be... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Gen 1 is, like, as you said, that's going to really set the precedent for us going forward and our community. So in terms of... Gosh, I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. Gen 1 doesn't have a duty in so much as defining us as we need to learn from each other, because the approach that we're taking is fairly different from a lot of the agencies, and the fact that we want to involve the community and talent as evenly as possible. So while yes, Gen 1 talent does have a large impact on us going forward, it is pretty evenly weighted with the community involvement as well. So when it comes to Gen 2, we're going to have a better foothold knowing how to incorporate the talent and what they need from us, how the community can benefit from us and the talent. And as this niche changes and grows, what else we can involve to keep us at the forefront and to keep us consistently growing and consistently learning.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Anything else is so dry that I'm sure everyone will fall asleep and it will become like, financial lecture from Fumi, so probably not that great. So I will... How do I unquestion myself, or do you guys just unquestion me for me?
There should be a button to move back to the audience.
What is it, like the stage hook? Get out.
All right. So then moving back over to Curious Cat. The next question is, how did VStars come to be... ... Well, VStars. How was it created?
So VStars originally started out Rohu came to this Discord server when there was only 12 others, and Nimu was one of them. And there was, I think it was a VTuber group. In any case, the original owner.
Returned.
Okay, I think you better field it for this question because.
Yeah, I was listening. So VStars was created by somebody who I met through Fiverr, actually. She designed a logo for me, and then she invited me to VStars. VStars was a community of literally 12 people, of which only 5 were active. I guess I was the most active. I was trying to rally the group as much as possible, trying to actually make some things happen and, make it an actual community. And so I was handed the keys to the castle at some point. The owner decided that she could no longer handle running a community, I guess. So yeah, I mean, we basically got it when it was close to nothing. The VStars you see here today looks literally nothing like the old VStars, other than the name. So, we have completely transformed this place. But yeah, that's basically the origin story of VStars at this point.
How old is VStars? How long has this Discord been around? It was on something else
year,
before.
right?
It was on what was it on? What's that app called?
It was on Slack, which is basically business Discord.
Business Discord.
Business Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the actual server itself has existed for a while, but it was in a much smaller state for a long period of time.
It was basically untouched.
Yeah. Once we got the keys to the castle, Komakura here really took off and redesigned the whole fucking thing. And we basically had a meteoric rise from there once we created the Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, the Twitter really did all the work.
Yeah.
That Twitter has done some heavy lifting.
Yeah, and then just with how we presented ourselves, we quickly grew a community. I mean, I remember when we were at like 400 members here. Within the next 2 days, it was at 1,000.
I remember being in our chat when we hit 500. We were just like, "Wow, 500!"
we can apply for the Discord thing, the
Discord partner, yeah.
Partner. And then the next day, we were like, "Oh,
we
can
doubled
really
that."
Apply. We can really apply for it now."
Yeah, it was kind of crazy how quickly it's happened. Still growing, still going strong, baby. VStars for life. You know what I'm saying?
I got it tatted.
It's across my chest right now. The whole logo.
Do not get the VStars logo tattooed across your chest.
Please do.
Or do.
No,
Just do it.
Vera, I think they can overrule us.
They can.
If you get VStars tatted on you, send us a picture and we'll retweet it.
We're gonna retweet out of us. Hell yeah.
We'll just like the post.
Re-tattooed. Anyway.
I like it on my personal account. That's it.
Yeah.
Damn.
A personal account with 200 followers.
All bots.
All right, so we've got Alyssa Chu next. So, Alyssa, jump on in.
Hi, I think it's working.
Hello.
Hi. So you mentioned earlier that you're expecting to announce the results by 2 weeks. That's your goal.
Mm-hmm.
But will you contact the individual applicants before this, or are you planning to surprise them as well?
Ideally, the announcement will go out after 2 weeks, which means we would have had to make sure that the applicants still wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to know if you'd surprise them or,
It would be nice to surprise them in a perfect world, but, we need to double, triple check them to make sure they're still on board, because it's been a whole month, or it will have been a whole month since some of them had applied. You know what I mean? So, like,
of course, yeah. That's completely
we would just need to
understandable.
triple check, like I said, that they're still interested. So unfortunately, the surprise will be a little bit ruined, but I'm sure they'll still be excited, right?
Yeah, I can speak personally. I would be thrilled.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's all I had.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so there are a couple of questions on the Curious Cat and floating through our Discord channel about content type, specifically about guidelines on level of content type ranging from safe to work to not safe for work, and where the line kind of is drawn.
Sorry, what the question?
The content is where is the line drawn in terms of not safe for work content?
Do you think? I mean, to a certain extent, like in terms of our support for NSFW content, we can't just be retweeting titties all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But like I said, we can't really like retweet it on our Twitter because we're pretty much safe for work on there.
Yeah, I think probably a good way to put it is that if you are accepted and you do any sort of material that is ranging into the NSFW sort of sphere, that we will not like tell you what you can or cannot do. However, we just may not be able to provide any sort of support in terms of marketing it or whatnot.
Yep.
All right, so next up we have Ember. Come on down.
You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
No,
Hey,
I
you
was
guys
like,
able
he's
to
not
hear me
done with
okay?
it.
Yes,
Hey.
sir.
Hey, so I was gonna ask, what kind of either just background do you guys have in terms of marketing or being a manager or agent for somebody? I guess that's kind of for all you guys.
Chris, you want to talk about it?
I'm sorry, I got lost in the question. Could you repeat that?
I say this respectfully, by the way. I'm not asking you like, give me your fucking qualifications. I'm asking, I'm just curious what you guys' background is in marketing and managing talent and
Sure.
stuff like that.
So, my experience with this is a little bit off center, to be exact, but I've worked in the past with Activision Blizzard, I've worked with Square Enix, and I've worked with both of those from both a fan perspective and a business perspective. So while I haven't worked with talent or streamers directly in their promotion, I do know the ins and outs of working with a business from both of those sides of the fence, basically. So when it comes down to managing individual talent, that is going to be an experience for sure, and one that I am getting used to. But I believe with the backing of the personal agents, with my professional backing, that with those experiences combined, we'll be able to formulate something that's going to translate well and benefit everybody.
And then,
Okay.
did you want to hear from the rest of us as well?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I come from a background of marketing experience from mostly direct mail marketing, actually like print marketing. So I am a little bit more in terms of like advertising, that kind of thing, rather than social media marketing. But I did work for about a decade with guest relations for a pretty large anime convention. So I'm very familiar with kind of how agents handle things there, negotiating, contract drafting, that sort of thing. Rohu or Komu, I see you were both on mute, but did you want to chime in with your experiences?
Was this just our experience in marketing and managing?
In general, yeah, or leadership experience, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I was in the Marines for 5 years, so I have a lot of experience in managing teams. I was an infantry squad leader for 3 years. I have a lot of experience in that. I have a lot of life experience that I can bring to the table. I have no like professionally. That would be it. I'm pride myself in being, a leader and a manager. Professionally with the marketing, I don't have a degree in it. I do plan on going to college here for computer science pretty soon. Not really a marketing thing, but on my own time, I really, really do like the marketing aspect of everything. I mean, I use the Twitter, I think, more than any of the other staff here, and I work alongside Chris a lot. She teaches me a lot, but I'm very confident in abilities and my experience in marketing, and I am very, very confident in my abilities to lead a team and manage a team of people.
Thank you
For
for
me,
your service, by the way.
Thank you.
For me, I am a theater artist. I've worked with, artists and theater people, performing artists for about a decade now. I've worked on both sides in terms of performance, and on the other side, like stage management and all that stuff. In addition to that, I've worked as a manager at my job for about a decade as well, since about 2010. So I have experience there. Como and I have worked together a lot on managing various communities of various sizes.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that in the past as well. Yeah, I mean, those are my qualifications, I guess. Not much marketing experience, but management experience. I definitely have that.
I just wanted to reiterate again. I asked that question respectfully. I don't want you guys to think I was
no. It's over. Nah, it's over for you, bro. That's it.
No, I definitely see how that question could be like, who the fuck is this guy asking me about?
I was actually streaming. I was actually streaming the other day. Like I was kind of doing like a ask me anything, like a personal one on my Twitch, and somebody came in and they were like, by the way, what kind of experience you guys have? Are you guys randoms? Or I was like, okay, that's a little fucking rude, but okay, I get what you're asking,
I had a couple of other questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you guys plan to do as far as, because you guys are doing a service in terms of helping new talent, but as far as I'm concerned, some of you guys are content creators as well. So how are you gonna balance the two and use some of the leverage you get to help yourselves out?
Yeah, that's actually a question that we asked when we had our staff applications, because that's something that was very important to us, because pretty much all of our staff, they are also content creators. So something that we wanted to ask them. One second, sorry.
Yeah, we did ask them at the interview. We asked them if they would be comfortable in managing their time with their own dreams and desires, and also being a volunteer staff for us. So that is very, very important to us that it gets looked at. I myself, I'm not a streamer. I have nothing really else to look at. So I feel like if Rohu here ever wanted to further his career as a streamer, that I would be able to pick up his slack for sure.
Okay. I don't know if Rohu wanted to come back. I was gonna.
Hello. I returned.
Okay.
I wasn't able to hear what Coma said, but basically, like I was saying, we asked that question to our staff. It's important to us that they're not jeopardizing their own content creation career to be part of the staff, and all of them have assured us that they would be able to balance both. I myself am also a streamer, content creator, and I'm doing my best to balance both. My own stream schedule has suffered a little bit, but that's also because I have IRL work to handle as well. So that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, VStars is the most important thing to me. So if my own stream schedule has to suffer, then so be it. I'm fine with that.
I did tell him that I'd pick up the slack if you did want to focus more on Twitch, but never mind. Fuck you.
No, fuck you. No, fuck me, actually.
Awesome.
Fuck.
And my last question, to break away from the seriousness, when are we gonna get the JoJo sponsorship? What's up, guys?
Sheesh. I wish.
Chris?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Chris, can you hit up Araki, please? And,
I honestly don't know why that's not done.
Yeah, we told you to do that.
Sorry.
That was the first thing we told you to do.
Yeah, in the interview process, actually, we.
Oh God.
We're not gonna bring you on if you don't do this.
No.
No. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So next we've got a pretty quick.
Chris is fired, by the way, just so everybody here knows.
Public fire.
Public firing.
Bye.
So a pretty quick Curious Cat question. Are you looking for all females and no males? What's the gender split going to be?
No preference.
No preference whatsoever. It ends up being whatever it ends up being. We do not care. Like we said before, the only thing we care about is your passion for streaming and your content creation. That's about it. As long as you're creating content, it does not matter to us.
Brilliant. All right, let's jump to the next person. It is Marinus, I believe.
Get
Hopefully I said
on
that
up.
right.
Hello, welcome.
No, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we
sure
can.
Cool. Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well.
Como, you mentioned you're Marines. I'll be hitting 10 years in the Air Force here in a month or so, and we get Marines that come into our unit fairly often. Every time we do, I make it a point to ask them, what's your favorite flavor of crayon?
No, okay. So we're gonna kick this guy from the Discord for sure. It's a red one, but whatever. They actually have I got a care package where it was edible chocolate that looked like crayons. That was a very common gift we'd get. So
I'm gonna have to get that for one of my Marine buddies now.
yeah. Oh, dude, yes, it's hilarious, and they're really good.
That's
Not 'cause they're-
funny as,
not
that's
'cause
funny as
crayon.
fuck.
There's also rocks too that we got chocolate.
Eating crayons and rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. My actual questions. You mentioned earlier that you were gonna have to talk to artists for merchandising. That kind of confused me. That may just be because I do my own art. Is that because when people make art for VTubers, does that not come with the ability to distribute that to like marketing groups or whatever?
From my understanding, when you commission a model, you have to specifically say that you're using it for merchandising rights.
Yeah, for commercial use.
For commercial use, right?
Mhm.
So it could be well within an artist's like terms of service that they are not allowing them to use it for merchandising purposes. More often than not, it is built into their TOS that you are, because when you're using a model to stream, you are making money from streaming. You know what I mean? But just to be on the safe side, we're gonna make sure to ask all the artists first.
What are you gonna do if one says no?
Not use it. There's no way around it, right?
I suppose either that or like a rebrand or something.
Well, typically
Yeah, I mean-
if you have come up with your own design, but you got, say, your model commissioned from someone, that artist doesn't necessarily own the rights to your design. They own the
That's
rights
fair.
to the model that they've created. So in terms of approaching artists about whether or not we can use something for merchandise, it's more the specific piece of artwork that we plan to use for said merchandise that we would have to ensure had commercial licenses either built into the fee that you've already paid for it, or that we would have to commission something specifically for the purpose of commercial use.
That is a fair point. Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
see, now I'm tracking. That makes sense.
Yeah. I guess it depends on whether or not the initial artist of the model, designed the character itself, right? Because then if they hadn't and it came from the person, then we're obviously creating bespoke art for our merchandise. We're not just gonna slap somebody's model on a T-shirt, of course.
Or could we?
We could, but
So, when Generation 2 hits, are you expecting to be having Gen 1 sign contracts similar to the Gen 2s, or are they going to remain contract free for their entire time with you guys?
they are expected to sign the contract. If they do, I mean, they're not expected to sign a contract, but they
Yeah.
will be given the contract to sign. And if they don't sign, then unfortunately they can no longer be part of the group. Because once we hit company status, we're not going to grandfather anybody in. It is you take the contract and you sign it, or unfortunately we cannot have you in the group anymore. Because at that point it will no longer be a group.
Okay, that makes sense. And Rohu, I was curious. You said you're a content creator. Are you a VTuber as well? Or
I am indeed.
are you going
Catch
to
me
be
at
operating as a VStar?
twitch.tv/Roho. What? Huh? No, I'm not. I mean, I guess you could consider me Gen 0, but
This was an elaborate scheme, wasn't it?
It
This
is.
actually just Gen 1 is
I'm-
going to be 8 different versions of Yorohu.
yeah, it's just
except,
gonna be me.
Yoro friend, Yoro wife, Yoro cousin.
Yeah, the whole family. Let's go.
Beautiful.
Cool. That's all I had. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
All right. So the next question on Curious Cat is about VODs. One of the questions on the application was about which VOD you would recommend or want them to look at. Since they filled out the application early, the recommended video has rolled off of VODs because of Twitch's time limit. What do you recommend in that case? Will you just look at other VODs instead?
Yes, if the VOD has expired, we've been just like, because we have been looking over some apps. We've looked at other content. If you wanted, you could go back and edit it, edit your application, and we'll take a look at whatever you've put there instead. But that's up to you. Like I said, we're also looking at other stuff on your channel. Take that. Let's go.
Cool.
Ready for the next one?
All right. The pigeon has returned.
Oh, back
with a vengeance.
Oh,
bring
no.
out some money.
Oh,
Hello,
no.
I'm here.
Put the knife away.
No, fuck you.
God.
You're in.
Okay, anyways, this is like 3 questions because the finance, I don't remember your name, I'm so sorry, but the person who was in here talking about finances made me think of something else. But first of all, I wanted to ask, how much time would you estimate between Gen 1 and Gen 2, and if there are any goalposts that you have before you start like taking applications for Gen 2? And then the next bit was, I wanted to ask, how much of a cut do you plan on taking from Gen 2 when you actually start taking money from your talents?
Part 1 of the question, we're thinking about a year to get to Gen 2. That's just, that's just a ballpark. The goal is to really focus in on one, and when we can incorporate and get the monetization going, then Gen 2 will happen. In terms of the cuts, we have not really solidified the exact amount. So I don't want to be quoted here on the exact amount, but we'll get more information as we go along on that.
Okay, thank you.
But we're looking to, it's going to be pretty standard, like management / agency rate. We're not going to be,
Yeah.
fucking 80% or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at that point, I don't think anyone would be signing the contract.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
any other questions?
thank you. I had one, but I have ADHD and I forget things very easily. But thank you.
That's all right.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. So we now have another question from Curious Cat that says, why is Yorohu so cool? Like a god, he should have
What
a marble
the-
statue designed after him.
Ew, who
showing-
sent that?
This is Carl, I think.
Carl.
It says anonymous,
What
but I'm pretty
the-
sure this was Carl. Do you want me to
Wait, what's the
continue reading?
question?
No,
Yes.
you don't need to.
Yes.
There
yes.
is
I think it's very important
no
to.
continued question. It says, he should have a marble statue designed after him, showing his manly features in their full beauty. Does he have a quote-unquote uncool side? Is that even possible? I
What
think
is
not,
this?
as he is the
What is
embodiment
this?
of a modern Olympian god.
What is this? Carl,
Carl,
is this you?
Bring Carl in here.
It has to be.
Carl, raise your hand right now.
Carl, I swear to God.
Trying to drag his PFP right up. There it is.
Carl, what the
What's
fuck?
up? I just had a question, okay?
That's not a question.
It is. I asked, do you have an uncool side and why are you so cool? Okay, I just detailed it.
I'm
think
gonna,
he
I'm,
would
gonna
like
show
an
you,
answer.
I'm gonna show you my uncool side by kicking you out of the fucking.
No,
Discord.
hey.
All right, get out, get off the stage.
All right,
I
the real
apologize for the
question.
actions of my son. Boy.
The real
son
question
My
here
son boy.
is if someone has a history of not being committed to things with people in the VStars server, do they still have a chance of getting into the group? I think this is more along the lines of like engagement within the server.
100%.
Yeah. Still got a chance.
We when we review the applications, we don't come back to Discord and look at how much you've talked or anything like that.
It helps, but it's not required.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so next up we have the return of Shawafel.
Hello.
Welcome back.
So I have a couple new questions again from other people too. My first question is, if some VTubers have shown their real life faces for pictures or stuff on like Twitter or something, not on streams, will that be fine or is that not okay?
That's fine. Yeah, you can do that.
All right. If people who can make videos like shitpost or compilations on their YouTube channels, is that okay too?
Yeah, No, honestly, why not? Like, just as an overarching thing, like I said before, like we're not here to modify or, tell you what content not to make.
Okay. And then if we don't play our characters, like our VTuber character, and just actually talk about our own lives or just like be ourselves in a way, is that like acceptable, or do we have to like play a character or not?
You can do whatever the hell you want on your stream. If you want to stick to a persona, you can do that. If you want to just stream as yourself, you can do that as well. It's completely up to you.
And then my final question, from what I heard from another person, I can't pronounce the name. I wrote it down, but I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. If for some who would apply and will, who applied and got accepted, will they be DM'd for saying that got accepted and see if they want to still join? Since we have what you said, like about 1,000 or so people on the Discord, and some people might not still be active, will we get a DM or some type of thing? Okay.
Yeah, I said it before, but we're, like I said, we're shooting for 2 weeks after to finally announce it. But before then, we have to double check to make sure that the people are still interested in being a part of the group before we make an announcement with their name on it. So they will be getting a DM.
Now that made me thought about another question. This should be the final one. I also heard that we're going to be signing a contract. What type of contract is it?
The contract happens when we get to Gen 2, so Gen 1 will not be signing a contract until we become a company and bring in Gen 2.
Okay.
So there's no contract until then, but the shape of the contract has not been fully defined yet, but it's going to be standard agency contract.
Okay. All right, that's all my questions. Hopefully I come up with more, but thank you.
All right, thank you.
Brilliant. All right, and since we're getting through the Curious Cat questions pretty frequently, I will just bring up someone else on stage. So Polybloom is next. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
I have a question about VTuber models. Are we able to keep our old VTuber models if we get accepted and change and upgrade it?
Yes, we are not supplying models whatsoever for Gen 1. So whatever model you got, that's what you got.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
And also, there is a question that I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, feel free to ask your next question.
I think I might have forgot.
Okay, no problem. If you think of it, you can always come back.
All right.
All right. So then, next up, do we want to bring one more audience person up? Let's see, we've got.
Let's get another one. I'm
Crystal
gonna pick
Wolf?
one at random. Here we
Oh,
go,
no.
baby. Oh no, you
I already did it. Sorry. I was audience member to the stage button happy. So, Crystal, if you are out there, you've been invited to the stage. All right. Well, we do have a couple of Curious Cat questions in the meanwhile. Will you make older generations graduate after a certain period of time?
Nope.
Easy peasy. And does the requirement to sign a contract at some point preclude minors from applying to Gen 1 or Gen 2?
If you are a minor, you should not have applied. It's part of the guidelines. You need to be 18 plus to apply. That's pretty clear in the guidelines. That guideline was there specifically because we knew contracts would be happening. So if you are a minor, you shouldn't have applied.
All right. So, Crystal, if you do recall your question, feel free to raise your hand back up again. But for now, we will go to Aaron
What?
Animates.
Wait. Fight
The-
the owners. Wait a
what the
second.
fuck?
What you trying to get into? You trying to throw hands? What's up?
I'm inviting them to the stage right now.
What's up? Get him on the
Let's go.
stage right now.
Let's
Get him
go.
on the stage. What's good? What's up?
You know what? Yeah, there is an event and it's happening now.
Yep. Put your hands up.
All right, welcome to the stage, Aaron.
Hello.
We are going to
Are you,
stop
wait,
him from
wait,
fighting.
am I
fight
about
you
to
too.
witness a fight?
You are. You're,
Dude,
You are in
I'm,
the fight
I'm
now.
rooting for you guys.
Grab a knife off the table. You're in.
Let's fucking
go.
go.
Get Pigeon
Oh.
back in here.
Dude, fuck yeah, let's go. MMA style.
With a knife?
With a knife.
That's not MMA
Two
style.
if you want.
MMA knife style. It's new.
It is. So I just am curious about like the different kind of responses that you guys have. If your talent doesn't get along, what are you gonna do?
Kick them all out. No.
Everybody's out.
The hope is that the hope is that talent will all be friends, but realistically, we can't expect them to be. We're not going to force them to be. If they don't want to hang out with each other, that's fine. It is in the guidelines that you are expected to collab at least once per month. It doesn't have to be a big group collab with everybody. If you don't like somebody specifically, you don't have to collab with them, but you do have to collab with someone. The expectation is that you can be professional and get along with people if you are in the group. I mean, there's no point in applying to a group if you're not going to be part of the group. You know what I'm saying?
That's the hope. And then, so if you guys have like drama within your own group or your community, how are you gonna handle that?
I mean, depends on the type of drama, right?
Just case by case.
Like, yeah, case by case. I mean, ideally, we would want to sit down with them one-on-one, and then if it comes to it, all involved together, you know?
Gotcha.
We would want to hash it out as appropriately and as sensitively as we can.
You don't want to grab the knives?
No.
They never go from this direction.
All right, thank you.
Of course, thank you.
You violent, Chris. You can't stab all your problems away. Beg to differ.
Who says?
Right?
All right, thank you.
Brilliant. All right, let's do another question from the audience. So, Naki, you are next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Sorry. I just had a couple of questions. The first one regarding the agent supporting members, is there like a specific cadence that we'll have with them, like a weekly meeting? And then also with that, will members have like overall meetings with each other and the admin certain periods of time?
For the latter question, yes. We have monthly staff meetings, and once the members come into play, we will definitely be way more engaged with our agents and what's going on with them and their members.
Okay, awesome. I just have a couple more. Once the members are selected, will there be like a separate Discord created for them, or will just the continuous one that we have now? But then also, will individuals be able to, so like the members, will they be also allowed to have their own Discords for their communities as well?
Yes, and a lot of them might already have their own Discords. We will not be disallowing them from creating any of their own communities or anything like that.
Ideally, they will link back to us in some capacity, whether it be like a specific channel dedicated to us or our links somewhere. But yeah, you can have your own Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. I just have one last one. It was mentioned that you would be looking at VODs and channels and everything as you're going through the applications. So I actually had gotten a channel trailer done during this time, and it's up on Twitch, but it's not in the application. And I think I'm a part of the group that the option to like edit was disabled, so I'm not really sure how to add it again, but would it be okay just to leave it up on the Twitch channel?
Yes, we go to the Twitch channel itself. And then
Yeah,
for the question about like which VOD would you like us to watch, we do that too, and we generally watch like more than 1 or 2 VODs.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck with everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. All right, next we've got our neighbor Fumi again.
Am I still picked?
Hi, sorry.
Hi.
2 questions.
Welcome back.
Question 1 was for Pigeon, which is, what am I, chopped liver? And question 2 was in relation to the agent, because I noticed that on your website you do have a listing of people whose services you use. I think you have like an artist group and a music group and stuff like that. The question I actually had was, in terms of the agents, at some point will they actually be able to make their services available as agents? Because for a lot of starting VTubers, that sort of service is actually really useful.
I would say that's up to the agents. I mean, if they want to contract themselves as an agent and charge for their services, I guess they could.
But I mean, the question is really, will they be listed as well, or are they just going to have their details?
I mean,
private?
they are listed on the VStars website. You just got to go to the staff section.
Yep, they are listed under our staff, so they can definitely be there. But in terms of them offering their own personal services, if they choose to do so, then they can do that on their side.
Okay, so it would be a private negotiation, not via VStars.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that was all I had to ask, because it was just very interesting to me. Okay, I'm gonna press the button.
Wonderful. All right, we have a couple more questions over in the Curious Cat. First, how much of the lore and character design and overall essence of the proposed VTuber is a contributing factor to your selections for Generation 1?
I mean, it is a factor, right? Of course it is. That's part of your character. But again, the most important thing is your content and your personality. That's the most important thing. If you have 13 pages of lore, that's great, good for you. But like I said, most important thing is what you're actually presenting to an audience. That's what's most important to us.
Awesome. Okay, then next up we have Ember returning to the stage.
Back I am.
Hello.
Hey. The first thing I came up with was, for anybody who is declined as talent, are you guys thinking about bringing them into the team in a different way? Like if somebody seemed to have strong marketing or something else amidst their streaming talents, bringing them as a part of you guys' team somehow?
Well, we still have staff apps open. They're forever open. So if they wanted to apply for staff, they could. It's up to them. I don't think we're specifically going to be scouting people through our talent apps for staff. Kind of feels like if they didn't apply for staff, they don't want to be staff. You know what I mean? But they can feel free to apply if they so desire.
Okay. I think my brain just killed the other question, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I came up ready, and I was like, well, there it goes. When you're talking about judging people's streams, I feel like it's not a stupid question, but it's like you're gonna examine the whole thing. The question is basically like, what most are you paying attention to? Because it's going to vary between people. There might be somebody who is streaming to 3 people, but they're having a blast streaming and their interaction with those 3 people is strong, versus somebody who's streaming to fucking 20 people and it's a little more meh. But I assume you're just going to evaluate the whole thing altogether.
Yeah, the whole thing altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, at the risk of like not insulting anybody's stream, but I think that you should be able to have a good stream, present your personality and your content well with any amount of people watching. Even if there's 0 people watching, you should be able to create something that you can present to anybody and be proud of. You know what I mean? And if you can do that with 0 people, then more power to you. You know what I mean? Even if you're not just interacting with chat, just, you know, continually talking. Because if I wanted to watch somebody play a game with nobody talking, I would watch a long play on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like at least be talking at the bare minimum.
And I guess I always finish up my row of questions with a fun one. Do we like coffee here?
I love coffee.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Lovely. Yo, Rohu, your answer wasn't good enough. You need to love coffee.
All right. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, it's time for me to go. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got a good question here on the Curious Cat. If a VStars member has a documented disability, how are you going to ensure that VStars is accessible for everyone?
Question.
I can answer that if you'd like. I've got some
Yeah.
experience. Yeah. So, in my real life job, I actually work with user experience design. So specifically making sure, you know, the things that we're providing for our customers are accessibility friendly, ADA compliant, etc. I think a big thing that we'll want to do is make sure that, you know, we have access for all of our members to get to VODs easily. If they want to subtitle them, perhaps that's something they can speak with their agent about to make sure that they have closed captioning, or if there are any services that provide automatic closed captioning over streams to helping set that up. You know, looking at overlays with their agent to decide whether or not these are good in terms of visibility for people who have visual impairments that aren't able to see certain colors, etc., etc., things like that. So these are things that we'll definitely have our agents like work with members on if necessary to help make their streams more compliant. Anyone
Alright.
want to add anything else, or shall we move on to the next question?
Let's move on. I think you covered it pretty well.
Cool. Will each talent have their own manager, or will they all share one?
We've answered that, but each talent is going to get their own agent, which basically functions the same as a manager.
Very good. All right, so next we're going to bring Meme Love 204 to the stage. That's 204 loves for memes.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I have a few questions, and I hope that's okay.
Go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, one of my more important questions is, I remember reading in the application that people will be required to do at least, I think it was a bare minimum of 1 collab every single month.
Mhm.
But I was curious, will the team be matching people up with who they think would be great to mesh with doing collabs together? And also, will people be able to collab together that are outside of the VStars community?
The answer to the second part is yes. The answer to the first part is ideally, it can be a mix of the talent wanting to do a collab, or more specifically, if they've not hit that collab quota of 1, our event team is likely going to be keeping on top of that with the agents, making sure that those collabs are happening, and handling the scheduling and all that.
Okie doke. And next question is, what's your favorite part of the community so far? Just the VTubing community and the VStars community?
You.
Ah, no. You buttering me up.
Everybody. I love the
Logging out of Discord.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Actually,
It's my favorite.
I changed my mind. Fuck this
Oh.
community. JK, lol. I don't
It's
know.
honestly just all the support that we receive from me.
Mm.
Like just seeing that everybody's so happy with what we're doing and consistently supporting us. That makes me feel proud in what I'm doing.
One of my favorite things is like going on Twitter and like seeing a post that's about stars that they did not tag us in, and they're just like
Yeah.
talking about how they're excited about something about VStars, that really makes me happy. I love
Or the
that.
ones where they refer us.
Where somebody was like, I really want a community to hang out with, and then we get tagged in that. I love that. That's so good.
There was that one too where somebody had a question on Twitter and somebody posted in the comments and they're like, "Hey, you should check out this community. They'll probably have the answer." That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool how so many people are just excited about jumping in voice chats and hanging out with new people and getting to know others here. I know I am a very shy person normally, and so it's been really fun and actually surprisingly chill being able to just jump in and hang out with people. No stress.
Yeah, and then I have 2 more questions, and then I'll leave you guys alone. What's your opinion if someone who has applied and has become a member of first gen or second gen, and then they completely alter their design? Like let's say they were a lizard and now they are, I don't know, a crocodile. Just completely redone their design, because I've seen a few people in the community do that. Will that affect how you move in marketing? Will they have to like touch base with you or anything?
Gen 1, that's completely fine as long as you let us know. Like, if we see you've made a complete redesign without telling us, like, that's fine, but we would like to know ideally that the process is happening for Gen 1. Gen 2, we are supplying the models, and therefore, we own the models, and so you shouldn't just be changing them of your own accord. If you wanted to redesign them, then that's a conversation that could happen. But yeah, just in terms of like doing things on your own, Gen 1 it's okay, Gen 2 it's not okay. Quick answer.
Yeah, I was wondering because there was like a person who I commissioned for my overlays, and I looked and they completely changed everything. I was like, I didn't know people were doing that. And final question, how did you get introduced into VTubing, if this question hasn't already been asked?
Me myself, just in terms of the VTuber world as a whole, my first like look into the VTubing world was Kiryu Coco, God rest her soul. I love her so much. She's gone now. She's dead. That was my first look into that, and just in terms of like how I became a VTuber, I had always wanted to stream for years, but I am not really in a situation where I could use a face cam or anything like that. So the advent of English VTubing really struck a chord with me, so I jumped on as soon as I could. Vera, Chris, you want to answer that question as well?
Yeah. Oh, you want to go first?
You can.
So my experience with VTubing is, I've gone on a diatribe about this before, but I'm one of those people who grew up with the internet. Like, I was in AOL and Yahoo RP chat rooms as a child when I really should not have been. But I've grown up with the internet, and I watched a lot of my friends become content creators and flourish when it came to being online, like streamers, artists, etc. And I was always kind of in the background of that because I am incredibly shy. Like, I have been agoraphobic since I was late teens. Like, there were periods where I didn't leave the house for months at a time because I was just afraid. And as time went on, I was more and more curious, and I was just a very lonely person. And I did what I could to try to interact with people, but it was still very, very hard. I had talked about streaming and things like that, but the idea of showing my face was debilitating for me. I could not fathom. And so fast forward a little bit, coming to like quarantine and lockdown and everything, everyone is lonely. Everyone hit that point of being alone. And in exploring that and watching streamers, I eventually landed on a clip, I want to say it was Gura, I believe it was. And I was like, if that's possible, if someone can do that, like, can I do that? And a bunch of research later, here we are. But yeah, VTubing has been a huge way in which I've been able to connect with people. And like Ayasu said, she knows me in real life. She knows how I am. Um, so yeah, no, VTubing's been kind of amazing in getting to meet people. Like I was here when we were shy of 100 people, and now I talk to you guys every day. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, for me, I think I actually first saw a clip of Gura as well, but that was like about a year ago maybe, and I didn't really like watch streamers at that point. So it's like, oh, that's neat, good for her. And then I'd been thinking about how I could start streaming, but like Rohu, I wasn't really in a place where I could do real life streaming, put up my face everywhere, and I'm also very, very shy. So once I realized like, oh, VTubing is actually a thing and people actually really enjoy it, I was like, okay, let's give that a shot. So 3 days later I had an overlay and I was ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah. I watched them from a very young age. Now I got into VTubing through Roku. I did not know anything about it. But here I am.
And now you're cursed
Loving
with
it.
knowledge.
Loving every
of
second of it.
VTubing.
Nice.
Stuck here, you can't leave. The contract was binding, but thank you again for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm gonna set a hard cap of 20 more minutes. If you guys are cool with that.
All right, and any other questions that do not get answered in here, feel free to send them to Curious Cat. After we finish the AMA, I will try to go back in and fill in answers for the ones that we've answered here. All right,
Thanks.
so Atoli is next.
Get on in here.
It popped up at the top. But this is more towards the whole entire agents part. It pops up on a thing. Are they only suitable for Twitch, or are they gonna help for every other social platform that the whole entire content creators are actually on?
Ideally, they'll be helping across the board with anything you need. Like I said, the base expectation is that they will be in your streams clipping stuff. But if you need help with Twitter or something, they can help with that as well.
Okay, that's it.
Cool. Thank you. All right, Chris, you want to do the thing that you wanted to do?
Right. I had one pinned question here that I wanted to touch on. It's so if a streamer in Gen 1 needs a break, even though they're supposed to stream 3 days a week and have a collab, is it okay, or will VStars have them push through illness or the big sads?
Of course not. Yeah, you just let us know. You know what I mean? The bare minimum is we expect is communication. If you completely ghost us for 2 weeks, obviously we're gonna have to do something about it. But as long as you keep in clear communication, tell us that you need some time off, or you're going through something. Obviously, we're not gonna expect you to push through it. Cool.
All right. The next question is from the writer. So please come to the stage.
Come on down. Hello, welcome.
I don't have a question, rather more like a compliment, actually. I just want to say you guys are doing a fantastic job on how far you're reaching, and I pray to you guys that your soon-to-be company will be incredible and amazing in the far future. So keep up the good work, and I wish you guys a bright future.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, how I get out of here?
There's no escape.
Like this.
Yeah, sorry, you're on stage now, buddy.
Once
Thank
you
you
come
so
here,
much.
then you're just stuck. All right, so a Curious Cat question here. I've got 2 of them for you. 1, if you could describe what you're looking for in the ideal VStars Gen 1 applicant with just 3 words, what would you pick?
large.
What?
No, no, I can't shitpost in here.
There will be no shit posting in this AMA.
All right.
What was the question? I heard shit posting. Now I'm interested.
No.
What was the question?
The question is ideal candidate in 3 words for VStars Gen 1.
Feet.
No. See? I'm trying to voice it.
Chris, help.
I can't. They get out of control. They become unhinged, and there's nothing I can do.
True.
There's so many times I egg them on.
I mean, I think communication is
don't
important.
help.
I think communication is very important. Like that was the last stated. I think having a passion for it is very important. Whether it's something you want to make a career out of or a hobby of yours, I think just having a general passion for it is very, very important to me, at least.
Passion, communication. What's the third one?
The coachability. You know, if you're struggling with something, obviously, and we have the tips for you, dismissing them would not be ideal. You know, not to say that we're ultimately right and everything, no, but you know, just trying it out at the very least. Listening to those, maybe a little more experienced than you, just having that willing to learn and grow.
Yeah, in the acting world, we call that being able to take a note. A lot of people are unable to take a note. If you're given a note, try to take it.
And the fourth one's feet.
Fourth one is
bonus 4th word.
Baganga bongas is the 4th one for me.
I think,
all right.
I think they're hitting their limit.
Yeah,
the next
we're
question
getting there.
is
There's a reason why it cuts off at 15 minutes. Nothing good happens after 11 p.m. EST.
Destroy our reputation in 15 minutes speedrun. Let's go, baby!
Let's go, baby!
The next question is, what happens if one talent that you choose for Gen 1 is much bigger than the others selected?
They get banned.
What?
I mean,
we're making you leave. Do you need a nap?
They get banned. What?
No,
I swear they turn into
mean,
cats.
I don't think anything happens. I mean,
No, it would. I mean, it would mean nothing to us in that regard. You know.
I mean, good for them. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly that. Everybody starts somewhere. We're not going to be accepting people just because they're big, and we're not going to treat them any different. If you guys could stop in the AMA chat about toes.
Yeah, can we
Yo,
we not?
Put those sonic toes away.
Get those out of here?
What the
I am now really glad that I'm not sharing the Discord in the Twitch.
It's just like that TikTok you showed me the other day. Mods? Where are my mods at?
Where my mods at?
All right, so next we've got leopard. Leopard.
I am one mod.
You got it right. You got it.
I
right.
did.
Have
Nice.
confidence. Have confidence. You know. So my question is really just about people who have like face cam streamed before. I'm not sure if this was asked already because I was able to join late, unfortunately. But I was just wondering, is there anything you're gonna do about people who have face cammed in the past and have like VODs of their face up? Is that a real concern for you, or does it not matter?
No, it doesn't matter. As long as they're, you know, obviously they did it because they were comfortable with it. That's all that matters. As long as you're comfortable having that up there, then have it up there. Doesn't matter to us.
All right, perfect. That's it. And then I was just gonna ask about breaks, but that was already answered, so I'm all good.
All right, thank you.
All right, we have Naki returning to the stage for another question.
Hi. I wanted to ask specifically, are you only accepting people from certain time zones? Because I know that one of the biggest aspects of the members is to have that collab and working with each other. Now, I know like time zones can be an issue with kind of figuring that out. So is there specific time zones that you're looking to accept for Generation 1?
No, but obviously scheduling would be difficult if they're in a time zone that is not matching up with all the others. But I think we can make it work. At the end of the day, the guidelines are not set in stone 100%. If we accept somebody and there is a good reason that we need to change some of the guidelines for them, we're willing to do that.
All right. Well, that was that was my only question.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, and then we have Polybloom coming back to stage for a question.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Again.
Welcome back.
I have a question about the collabs.
Go ahead.
So if we join, and I have a lot of indie VTuber friends, are we able to collab with the indie VTubers that are outside of VStars?
Yep,
and
absolutely.
And other agencies, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem there.
All right, I was just wondering because I see some collabs in some of the live streams. I think it's Ninja Sanji and B Shoujo collabs. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's something too that we're going to be looking into a lot is with our marketing team, seeing other groups and other VTubers that would be interested in collabing with our people as well.
Right. Like, we're not an island. We understand that if we kept everything completely insular and only within VStars as far as it goes for collaboration, we would be limiting ourselves by a great deal. We know that there are several indie communities that we could greatly benefit from, and they could benefit from us mutually. So yeah, that is not something that's off the table.
And does it matter of the size of the channel?
No, not at all.
No? All right. Because I would still like to collab with some of my indie VTuber friends if I did join VStars.
Absolutely. We want to let you do the content that you want to make. And if that's, still being able to collab with other VTubers of any following size, then go for it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then next up, we have B-Chan.
B.
B. Can we get a B in the chat?
B.
Can I get a bucket?
Can we get a?
Can we get a B?
Can we get some? Can we get
There we
some in chat?
Here you go, B-Chan. You're being welcomed in the chat.
Oh, thank you. I'm really late to the AMA, so I don't really know what's been asked. But regarding earlier about the whole, redesigning your whole character, I'm not redesigning my whole character, but I am really drastically changing the hair and the outfit. Hypothetically, if I did join, would I have to hurry up with that, or should I take my time, or would VStars
take as
help
much
a
time as you
little,
need.
or?
I mean, not in terms of money, but in terms
Oh,
of
no, I was just-
help with design. If you wanted help,
Yeah,
there are people who are.
the code, what should I run it by you, the design first before I finalize it?
You don't have to run it by us, but if you wanted design help, I'm sure there are plenty of people on the staff or
Okay.
fellow members in VStars that could help you out with that.
Yeah.
Featured artists and whatnot.
Yeah, the featured artists. Don't forget about Dan.
Oh yeah. And then regarding the last person, I do have a lot of smaller people that I collab with a lot. But some of them are not VTubers at all. They're just normal, they play, some are achievement hunters, some are just regular face cam speaking. Do they have to be VTubers to collab with them?
Nope.
Okay, that's nice. Okay. I guess that's all I had.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and we have Jowaffle coming back up again.
Whoa. I saw B-Chan for a quick second after I joined. Huh. For what B-Chan also said about what was it? I forgot. It was the first question that she asked.
Model changes? Question mark?
Yes, model changes. Is there something going on with
that, like, do we have to like change our models entirely for if we get accepted?
Nope.
Or something like that.
The expectation is whatever you got is what you got. We're not supplying any models or paying for any like model changes or anything like that. So whatever it's what you have. If you want to pay for yourself to change it, you can feel free to do that. It's your character at the end of the day. So
Okay. That's all I asked for about. Okay.
all right, cool. We've got about 6 minutes left. So if you got a question, now's the time.
We are out of questions on the Curious Chat. Or Curious Chat? Wow, Curious
Chat. I'm curious about chat.
I am curious about chat as well.
Tell
Chat,
us about
what is
your
on your
filter.
mind?
They're still spamming bees.
Oh no, I don't know what the command is, Como. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Is it T rank? It's asking me about
Majora-
Tatsu.
Majora
wait.
asks. Oh,
It might be in the actual bot thing. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
that's the wrong bot. Majora is asking, does it matter how big or small of a streamer you are before you apply? And the answer is no, it does not matter. Like I said before, we're looking at your content creation, the passion for the content creation rather than the numbers.
Let's see, we have a question about how big the logo needs to be on your overlay. I don't know that it needs to be huge, but hopefully visible. You could also use Twitch panels if that works too.
Yeah, ideally, I mean, we're not expecting you to slap a big ass logo on your panel, on your overlay, but at least having a panel in your about section would be ideal.
Chris says the VStars must be 20% larger than your model.
Yes. No.
Let's get back into VStars tattoo.
We have two more questions on the Curious Cat to wrap it up. So, one, is there a preference between YouTube streamers or Twitch streamers?
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Excellent. And second, how will content be decided for collabs? Will this be chosen by the marketing team, or will the Gen 1 members mostly plan monthly collabs on their own?
Oh, that'll. Oh, sorry.
You know, go ahead.
That will vary collab to collab because if, for instance, if 1 month we know that there's like a large game coming out that has a lot of collab potential, we may try to push talent to wanting to do it, and working with the agents and making sure that the people who want to do it are involved. I don't see us having like a huge requirement for what's collabed as long as everybody can agree on it and they're going to have fun with it. But like I say, the only, like, imagine if a new Fall Guys came out, like something with that level of hype, then I'd be like, hey guys, maybe we should do something with this because it's going to get a lot of eyes on you. But otherwise, no, a lot of it's going to come down to what the talent wants to do.
And don't forget that we also have lots of community events that will likely turn into talent plus community events too. So we'll have chances for the talent to collaborate with each other while also engaging with the community. So yeah, we're probably going to make this really, really easy. Honestly, talent will just be able to join in kind of our monthly events. And yeah.
Real
collab.
quick, Kuoku, is that how you say your name? Kuoku? I'm not sure, sorry. But Kuoku's asking if will y'all help us buy those games if you are trying to get us to collab new games? Realistically, no. Especially in Gen 1 when we're not a company, we really don't have funding to purchase games for people, unfortunately. If we can fit into the budget somehow, then maybe. But as of right now, the answer is no.
And there is the possibility that we would be receiving like promo keys. In that case, obviously, we would help out our talent. But yeah, we unfortunately don't have the funds right now to openly say like, yes, we will purchase you a thing.
The writer asks, would you accept fan art of VStars like the logo on their VTubers? Yes, yeah, you can do fan art for us. Yeah, definitely we accept fan art. In terms of changing the logo, ideally we would prefer people don't change the logo. I mean, the branding is, the brand is strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do have like 2 versions of our logo, one with the rainbow, one with our blue, purple, pink color scheme. We have a couple that we have planned for, seasonal type stuff, like a Halloween styled one. Theoretically, we could. We ask that if for some reason you do want to change the logo, you contact us first so we can help make it official versus you just, adjusting the hue in Photoshop.
Yeah.
It looks like we do still have 2 more requests to speak over here. Do we want to take those and say we're all done with questions for the
All right.
evening?
Yeah, those 2 will be the final 2, and then we're gonna wrap up.
All right, Ember, 3rd time's the charm.
Hello.
No sleep for you guys. None.
Okay.
I'm messing with you guys. Will there be any requirements as far as once you're accepted when it comes to multi-platform promotion? Like, will there be, you need to be active regardless on at least something, but will there be any push towards certain platforms?
I would say as long as you're streaming, right? Like, as long as you're creating the stream content, that's like mostly what we're going for. Like, that's part of the guidelines, 3 streams a week minimum. Beyond that, you can decide if you want to be active on Twitter and other websites. Realistically, like, the hope is that you will be active on Twitter and stuff like TikTok. You're kind of just harming yourself at that point if you are not active on there, because there's a lot of growth that can come from Twitter and TikTok.
Sorry, my brain just died. Did you ask me a question just now? I heard the majority of what you said, and for some reason I checked out.
I didn't.
Okay, my bad. All right, I think that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then we had Polybloom in here, so come on back up.
Hey, I have a question about the games. What if there's like a HD game that is very trendy, that's potential for collabs and getting a lot of views and subs, but I'm stuck with a very bad low-end PC, but it's required high-end PC?
Unfortunately, we won't be able to help with hardware assistance itself, so upgrades for PCs, that kind of thing.
Alright, so that part's gonna have to be on me.
Yep.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if your computer can't handle it, then unfortunately you just can't play it.
Alright, something like Day by Daylight. I heard that one's a very trendy game right now.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, I think that's the question I have right now.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Keep up the good work.
And then B-Chan will be our very last question.
Okay, it's time for real.
It's time for real. I'm sorry. I feel bad turning people
Damn it.
away.
I'm gonna turn you away.
Oh, why?
All right.
Okay.
Hello, welcome back.
Oh gosh, I feel bad that this is the last question.
No, don't feel bad.
Regarding Twitter, a lot of VTubers retweet a lot of lewd fan art. How lewd can we go?
Like I said previously, I don't know if you were
Is
here
that
for
allowed?
it, but you can handle NSFW or lewd stuff however you want to, but realistically, in terms of our like retweeting or like marketing support for NSFW, we're not going to be retweeting anything like that because our Twitter has to remain safe for work.
Yes. I meant like personal. Should I make a separate Twitter for that, or
You
should
could if
we-
you want to. It's completely up to you. I know that a lot of people opt to do that just to make sure that they can say like no minors do not interact or whatever. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that they're covering their asses there. Yeah, that's completely up to you how you want to handle that.
Because I don't really like draw spicy stuff, but if I was gifted it, I wouldn't be like upset. But I just didn't know where to put that. So that was my question.
Yeah,
But,
just like Yuzu said, got to keep the badonks in the corner.
Okay.
Hence this link, so.
I guess in that situation, I would just make a separate, which I've been thinking about doing anyway. So that works out.
Speaking from a branding perspective, that's never a bad idea. Just in
Yeah.
case you ever want to get sponsorships or something that don't want to deal with lewd content, then boom, you already don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Sorry that was the last question.
You're good.
But yeah, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Did it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, asking the questions. We appreciate it. We hope that you guys are all leaving this AMA with a better understanding of where we stand on the topics. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask them on the Curious Cat. We will try to get to them if we can through the usual Curious Cat answering system. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Unless anybody else wants to say anything. Sorry.